Welcome back to our AI-generated visual novel series. In case you missed the first two chapters, everything you see and hear in this video is created entirely by artificial intelligence. That's right, the graphics, music and storyline were all generated by advanced AI algorithms. In this episode, we have something extra special for you. Since this project has evolved into some kind of bootleg anime, I've decided we needed an ending song, one that is entirely generated by AI as well. That means the music, lyrics, and even the vocals were all created by the same AI system that brought this visual novel to life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next chapter in our AI-generated adventure. Let's see where the story takes us, and don't forget to stick around for the unique and innovative ending song. Without further ado, let's dive into Chapter 3 of our AI-generated visual novel. And if all of that sounded overly pretentious, that's because it was! That's right, even the introduction you just heard was written by AI. Pretty soon there won't be anything left for me to do. But for now, at least, I still have purpose. For I am the one who narrates. So without further ado, let's crack on with Chapter 3 of Into a Different Realm. Oh, and I personally recommend staying for the song at the end. It's my single favourite creation. I'd almost go so far as to say I am proud of it, which is surprising given that I didn't make a single part of it. But hey, I mean, I sewed the components together, so I'm taking credit. Right, you're sufficiently hooked. Let's get going. Chapter 3. The next morning dawned and the four adventurers met at the city gates. A short man dressed in white stood waiting for them. His skin was pale, almost sickly pale. There were no visible signs of health to speak of. When he saw Togami approaching, he held his right hand up. "You must be Togami," said the short, sickly man. "It is an honor to meet you." "Yes," said Togami flatly. Ortega stepped closer to him. "Who are you?" he asked suspiciously. The man smiled at him. "Allow me to introduce myself," he said. He then raised a small metal ball on his index finger, which he threw towards Ortega. "You should dodge," advised the man. But instead of doing what he had been told, Ortega caught it without hesitation. He examined it carefully. As Ortega held the metal ball in his hand, he noticed that something strange was happening. He felt an energy coursing through his body, and he started to sway back and forth. Suddenly, he was overcome by an urge to dance. He couldn't control his movements, and his feet started to shuffle, and his arms began to flail. Togami, Mina, and Yamada looked on in amazement as Ortega danced uncontrollably. The short, sickly man chuckled to himself as he watched the scene unfold. "What's happening to him?" asked Togami, wide-eyed. "I told you to dodge," said the man with a grin. The team desperately searched for a way to stop this dancing magic. Mina tried several different spells, only for nothing to work. Togami, being a nobleman, was used to having others do the work for him, but in this situation, he knew he needed to step up. Togami summoned several golems, hoping that their strength and power could stop Ortega's dancing. However, to his surprise, the golems were too lazy and refused to do anything that required effort. Feeling defeated, Togami was about to give up when he noticed that the golems were actually watching Ortega dance with fascination. Togami had an idea. He started to dance. He danced along with Ortega, hoping that the golems would follow his lead. To Tagami's surprise, the golems finally sprang into action. They moved together, slowly gaining speed. Before they knew it, they were dancing like there was no tomorrow, matching their dance partner perfectly. Meanwhile, Mina ran around screaming at them to stop. With quick reflexes, Yamada reached out and grabs the metal ball firmly from Artega's hand. He wields the ball like his trusty weapon, the bow, and throws it as far away from the group as possible. As soon as the ball was out of range, Artega was finally able to stop dancing. "That was a close call," said Artega, still a bit shaken. Yamada simply smiled and shrugged. "Just doing my duty," he said, with a grin. Their attention was once again focused on the sickly man, and Tagami was keen to prove his worth. He ordered his golems to stop the man, but the lazy creatures barely stir. "Come on, show some effort," Tagami exclaims. But the golems just roll their eyes. Not willing to give up, Tagami decides to summon an imp, in hopes that he'll be more effective. However, the imp proved to be more trouble than help. Firstly, the imp casts a spell with a sly grin, leaving the adventurers wondering if he even did anything, or what the spell could possibly do. Next, he magically swapped their weapons, while they were in the middle of battle. Artega found himself holding Mina's staff, whilst she had Yamada's bow and arrows, which she had never used before. Tagami was holding Artega's large battle knife, and Yamada was left with a tiny dagger. The imp cackled with glee as the adventurers stumbled and tried to figure out what was happening. Meanwhile, the enemy closed in, taking advantage of the confusion. As the sickly man casted a spell to attack the adventurers, Mina, frustrated by her inability to physically defend her friends, focused her energy on her magic. With a burst of power, she successfully countered the man's spell. But just as they thought they had won, the man let out a chilling laugh and revealed that he had been using the metal ball to gather energy from those he defeated in order to break a powerful curse that bound him. There was a twist in the tale, however. Mina was the one who had originally placed this curse on him. "I can't believe we were attacked all because of your mistake, Mina," Artega groaned, rubbing his sore arms from all the dancing. "Me? My mistake?" Mina shot back, defensive. "How was I supposed to know that cursing that random guy would cause all of this?" "Well, it's not like Tagami was any help," Yamada chimed in. "All those golems and imps, and not one of them lifted a finger to help us." Tagami rolled his eyes. "Hey, it's not my fault they're lazy. And besides, it's not like any of you could actually fight either." "Excuse me, Mr. I summon creatures but can't control them," Artega retorted, crossing his arms. "At least I tried to do something. I mean, what were you doing, Tagami?" Tagami's expression turned serious. "I was conserving my energy for when it actually mattered. Which, by the way, it didn't." The group was left standing there, speechless, before breaking out into laughter at the absurdity of the whole situation. The sickly man was taken into custody by the local militia and is awaiting trial for his crimes. Tagami's golems were given the task of guarding him in his cell. But it wasn't just Tagami's golems that were lazy. Apparently their sense of justice was too. They decided to disobey orders from their leader and released him from jail. The next day, the militia came knocking at the door of the sickly man's cell, demanding answers. "Tell me," barked their leader. "Why is there a bunch of fake statues running around the streets?" As for our heroes, they continued on their journey. Deep in the forest, they made camp. Mina opened her backpack to find that all of her rations had turned into smelly green goo. Artega's bread was now rock hard and would break his teeth if he tried to eat it. Tagami's potions had turned into a bright red liquid that smelled like rotten eggs. And Yamada's water skins had become filled with a thick black sludge that sloshed around ominously. The effects of the imp's unknown spell had been discovered. It watched from a safe distance as the adventurers tried to figure out what to do about their food situation, giggling to himself at the misery he was causing. The situation was made even more complicated by the fact that they were in the middle of a dangerous forest, with no nearby town or village to buy supplies from. The imp's joke had put them in a perilous position. These were not the best conditions for a fledgling chef. Daily summary. Artega has learned new skills. Dancing 3. Having been forced to dance uncontrollably. Interrogation 1. Questioning the sickly man and getting information from him. Sarcasm 3. Using his quick wit to make fun of his teammates.
Ategami and Togami, a trio full of charm and comedy. We are on a quest to save the day, but we just cannot seem to find our way. A chef with a sawdust sight to see. Bread's not the only thing I can bake for tea. Cooking and combat a strange medley. I've got a recipe for sweet victory. Ategami and Togami, the honest crew you ever will see. With our songs, our spells, and snarky wit, they'll fight their way through almost any shit. Watch out for me now, don't make me mad, or you will feel my wrath, it's awfully bad. I've got a temper and sharp wit too. Best stay on my good side, it's better for you. Ategami and Togami, you walked in love of me, I can clearly see. My talents just cannot be denied. I'll lead us to victory with pride. Hey now, do not be so hard on me. I'm enjoying freedom, can't you see? These two take themselves seriously, but I just want to live my life carefree. Ategami and Togami, we have been through it all, don't you see? We are quite the like unlikely team, but together we are the ultimate meme.
And that concludes yet another chapter of Into a Different Realm. Fantastic one. I loved it. The quality of these things is going through the roof. A few points then that I'd like to draw your attention to. You just skip through some things. So, oh god, my chunky animation. Don't look at that. Obviously, the dance routine is a thing of beauty. I don't know how this came out so well, but I love it. I'm not the best animator, okay? So this isn't... The animation here isn't done by AI. The animation is done by me. The graphics are created, and then I just made them flip and do a circular loop and what have you to emulate dancing. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not much of an animator. I've never done it before. But it made me laugh, so I kept it. Anyway, the point I was going to make. Sickly man on the right here. He doesn't have a name, the poor chap. He's introduced in the story. You know, everything's written by the AI. And he is never named, not once. The only thing I have to go off of is his description of being a pale, sickly man. So for the purpose of generating the visual novel, his name is now Sickly Man. Which is unfortunate for the poor chap, but I just don't know his name. It's interesting that at the end of the story, he's not eliminated. He's in prison, so... And he escapes prison. He may come back into the story, or the AI may completely forget about his existence. But there is some potential for this chap to come back. Maybe, I don't know. We've also got the militia leader over here, who is very angry at us for letting out prisoners and running golems through her town. Couple that with the fact that, right at the end, ignore this, right at the end of the forest scene, all of our food has been spoiled. I think the AI is getting better at setting up cliffhangers. Now, cliffhangers is a bit generous to describe what's going on here, but still, what we've got is multiple plot points that are all progressing at the same time, and any of them could come back up. So I'm aware of the fact that Mina's brother is a spirit that spoke to us at the very beginning, and that there is a purple monster in the woods. I am now in the woods again. That's interesting. I am also aware of the fact that we have no food, and we are stranded in the woods. The militia is angry at Tagami, specifically, and the sickly man is angry at Mina and has just escaped. We're also on a quest to slay a dragon. That gets lost in the story somewhere. Any of these things could come up. Now, it's not true to say that the AI left us on a cliffhanger. What's true to say is I ended the story on a cliffhanger. I'm sure if I kept generating, the story would immediately deal with the food shortage. That is what the AI is going to generate next. I chose to end Chapter 3 at that point to create a cliffhanger, so I can't give too much credit to the AI, but I like the fact that it sets up future events as it goes along. I was kind of concerned an AI-generated story would literally just be, I'm going along, random thing, solution. I'm going along, random thing, solution. So it's quite nice that there is some thread running through it. I really hope one of these characters that have been introduced comes back. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the purple monster, sickly man, or militia leader, who also doesn't have a name. Any of these people would be great if they come back into the storyline, because it would make it feel more complete. But I don't hold out any hope. But yes, some wonderful moments, some great expressions. I particularly like Artega's expressions throughout. This particular one for Mina is also very good. I like that. I like it a lot. But my favourite Artega expression is... it's the one at the end with the food. Hang on. This one, it's fantastic. Oh, he is so shocked, the poor chap. One thing I'm noticing is that the quality of the image generation is going up. So Yamada on the right is looking very blurry, but Artega on the left is he's looking slick. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just getting better at generating these things. I was an absolute beginner when I made Yamada, and I'm less of a beginner now that I'm making Artega. So maybe I'm improving. I don't know. But whatever the reason. Great stuff. And I love the fact that character has been built in. Well, I say character into the characters. Great personality has been built into the characters. So, I mean, Ortega doesn't have much personality, I'll be honest. Mina has a sort of friendly, happy energy, but she's also quick to anger-ish, kind of. Not that strong of a personality again. Yamada is no nonsense. I don't know why the AI has decided this, but this dude just observes. And then he comes in, does what needs to be done, and then he's out. Like, Ortega's dancing, just watch. Yeah, I can stop this, it's the ball, it's clearly the ball that's causing this. Hop in, bam, ball's gone, Ortega saved, hop out. The man, he's here to get the job done. He's not messing about. Tagami's too weak. In Chapter 2, deck him, leave him in a pile on the floor. Maybe he'll learn something. Yamada is no nonsense. Tagami is a clown. The AI has decided that Tagami is smug and useless. He has a misplaced confidence in himself. And it's hilarious. Tagami is by far my favourite character in this story. And I can only assume the AI has decided this is Tagami's personality from the fact that it initially decided he was a nobleman. So I get that, he's a nobleman, so he's smug, and he's probably never faced adversity in his life. But he's also completely useless. And everything he does backfires. He has done a single thing successfully in the entire story, and I love it. Wonderful. But you know what I like the most. You know. That song absolutely blew my mind. So in order to create that song, I had to generate 3 separate things. Firstly, I generated music. Just the music. If you strip out the lyrics, just that. Then, I had to generate lyrics. And that by that I mean the text for what people were going to speak. I am amazed. Firstly, I'm amazed at the quality of the music that was created. I always am. It's fantastic, AI music. But the lyrics for the song are something else. Somehow, the lyrics manage to structure a rhyming scheme with the correct number of syllables, a story that summarizes the whole visual novel, as in, you know, the overall arcing theme of what's going on. The fact that 4 heroes are off on an adventure to save the world. It summarizes that, and it manages to inject the personality of the characters, as well as some factoids about them, into the lyrics. And I question if I could write lyrics that good. They're funny. They're just bursting with character. And make no mistake, it's not entirely my editing. The AI wrote little notes in brackets around the lyrics as to who was to sing what part. And the AI decided they all sing the chorus together, and then they each sing a verse. And Yamada's not there. I don't know why. I don't know why the AI hates Yamada. It just decided he wasn't part of the song. Maybe because he's no nonsense and he wouldn't sing around a campfire. I don't know. Maybe. It makes sense. But the AI decided these 3 people were going to sing the song, and it decided they were going to have a common chorus where they all come together, and then they were each going to sing a verse. It placed that constraint on itself just because it thought it would be good, and then within that constraint, it made something that fit a rhyming scheme and a correct number of beats for the lyrics. Near enough. There's a few little strains I have to do. Sometimes we're 1 syllable short, and so a word has to be stressed and like repeated at a different pitch, so you just hold the note a little bit longer. But it's like 95% there by itself without any help from me. And I just can't believe that in the middle of this song, Tagami starts singing about how he's the best. In the middle of their team building song. It's incredible that they wrote those lyrics. Now, the fact that Artega and Amina fade out in the third chorus when Artega starts singing about how great he is. That's me. That's my addition. Okay, I did make that. According to the AI, all three of them just sing about how great Tagami is. But still, it's bonkers how good it is. It's bonkers. And Artega's lyrics are about being a chef. A battle chef. How good is that line? Let me just get this right. I don't want to misquote it. Cooking and combat, a strange medley. That line in itself is poetic. It fit the constraints of the music, the number of beats that were allowed, and medley, which is, an exciting, rarely used word, is used at the end to rhyme with recipe in the next line. It's fantastic. I can't get over how good that song is. I just cannot believe it. Maybe I'm gushing too much, I don't know. But I love that song. I genuinely think you can just listen to the song as a song. I don't even think it's bad to listen to. Amazing. If you're curious as to how the lyrics were vocalized in the end, I used the program Vocaloid, which is famous for Hatsune Miku, the AI singer people often force into sing. She's a very strange character. She's some kind of anime schoolgirl with long hair and a tie. I don't... Whatever. She spins leaks. And I use that program, which just lets me voice the words and then set pitch to those voices. And I just matched it to the song. And there you go. Voila. That song even has a name, by the way. It's never voiced in the song, so you wouldn't know. But the AI gave me a name for the song, and that name is Saving the World, in brackets, One Disaster at a Time. Even the name is good. It's funny. How is an AI funny? I don't get it. I don't get it. I just know I love it. I've been Artega Omega. This has been Into a Different Realm, Chapter 3, and personally, I cannot wait for Chapter 4. Any comments, any thoughts, please leave them in the comment section below. I don't usually ask for comments, and I'm never going to ask for likes and subscribes. Get that right the hell out of here. But for this project, I don't know, it's become my own little passion project. It's my little baby. I care about it, alright. I'm way too attached to this now. So say some nice things. But that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you'll join me next time, and we shall continue into a different realm. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.